I thought it over, guys, during the break, and I realized that if I am not willing to commit to sharing my life with multiple men and or women and or anime men and or anime women,
Preach it.
I will never be a harem master, which means Dave Traeger, aka Henley, will always be the prince of anime, and I am nothing compared to the giant nerd that he is.
You can clean my stables.
No, I'm not worthy of even cleaning the stables. I'll go to another realm.
Can you be like one of those people that like marries inanimate objects, Arthur? You know, like body pillow, like marries a body pillow, or
Okay, James.
It's called a ducky mori. Okay.
I want to be clear that I occasionally joke about marrying 2D characters, but no.
Arthur,
no. Marriage has to mean something.
Because there's no conflict about like having multiple inanimate object loves.
Explain to me how you have an emotional connection in both directions from an inanimate object.
I don't know. I apparently some people feel that you can. So
yes, some people do believe that. Those people are not me.
Arthur, are you aware of a king on Twitter called Waifu Watchers?
No, I'm not. A king?
Oh, yeah.
When you say king, do you mean an actual king, or do you mean a guy who's like the prime alpha?
He's the... Here, let me show you the primest of alphas.
Okay, so he's not the king of an actual country, like the king of that country that's also an airline pilot.
No, he like
Harem of
everyone
Beanie
who
Babies?
walks...
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He is king. King Dingling, okay?
What about a Tamagotchi or a Furby that have like the facsimile of return feelings?
They just reciprocate on like the most minor levels. Yeah.
Anyway, I feel like we've gotten off track somehow here. Are we ready to continue, Arthur?
I was ready a long time ago.
Hey! You were the one that came back from the break and started this line. So you just.
It was just intended to be a throwaway. I didn't know I'd be watching a guy in a cowboy hat dancing in front of a bunch of 15-year-olds.
Water starts flowing in. So. No worries. Okay, so Androchiron, the box's lid is open. Like you hear that once again the three locks click, and then the lid is opened, and yeah, it's unusual what you sense as the energy round flows in. Like wherever you are, it is somewhere that is quite psychically active, but in a, I don't know if it's a positive way, certainly not in a negative way, but there is a high amount of psychic power around you that is almost. It's almost protective. It feels like no harm can come to you here psychically. And as you as Shrain helps you climb out of the box, you're probably a bit sore from lying in the box for probably about 2 hours as well. You're a bit cramped because you couldn't lie out straight. You couldn't really turn over easily.
First off, I want to say he's covered in patches of handprints of drow blood. Number two is that he's been crying the whole time. And as Shrain helps him out, he's like, oh, thank you so much. This has been the most amazing experience of my life.
You're in some sort of giant library. And when I say giant, I mean like the stacks go off to infinity as far as you can see. They are piled above you, as far as the eye can see up. Books of all sorts of manufactured. The construction in here, as in like the furniture, has a definite Aldari bent to it. You're in like this, imagine like a circular library which has like a central plinth, and the various stacks go out in cardinal directions from there. It's like you're in the center of that library. On the sort of central plinth is a gigantic book. When I say gigantic, like probably about the size of a car, which appears to be made of crystal. and is wrapped in a chain that, as far as you can tell, is only made of light. Although there is energy coming from this book, incredible power, and the chain that holds it is once again also incredibly powerful.
What's the Codex Toxicus? I know it well.
As you're looking around these stacks as well, some of the books give off malevolent vibes psychically, like they are books of dark power, but those same powers are constrained by the protective aura this place has that holds the power, the dark power within the book, so it can't escape and do harm to the things around it. The only other figure in the immediate sight with you, other than Shrain, is a male harlequin wearing a horned mask that you haven't seen before.
All right, I'm going to ignore him. I'm going to turn to Shrain and say, can I keep the box?
It actually belongs to a friend of mine who has lent it to me for this purpose. And the box itself has strong ties to fate.
It was quiet in there.
No, I think that I do believe that Nero will want it back.
You're saying that this is the thrice lost chance of Nero the Blade?
I fucking knew it. When James said 3 locks click close, I was like, this motherfucker.
When he said 3 locks close and it's comfy as heck in there, I was like, okay, yeah.
I mean, he didn't describe it smelling like gunpowder and gun solvent.
I considered making you make an awareness test for that, but decided against it. So,
all right, I'm going to smirk slightly, make it apparent I'm about to say a joke, and say to Shrain, oh, "Wow, whoever the librarian of this place is must have a harem of beanie babies, because they are definitely a virgin." Then I'm going to turn to the Harlequin and say, "Oh, hello."
Right. The Harlequin doesn't say anything in response, other than it's just like a courteous nod to indicate that I've heard your greeting. And
I turn to the Inquisitor and I say, "Are we killing him?"
No, he has my sanction, and we are in his home right now.
Oh, I turn to him and I say, "I'm sorry."
So please sit, and you sort of turn, like you didn't see it before, but there's now like a small table with a couple of chairs you can sit at. Let's talk.
Okay.
So we need to work out how we can help get your friends out of their current predicament. Oh, you probably don't know even, do you? The others were captured by the homunculus and have been handed over to the blood pits of the succubus in the Nexus. I'm sure they'll be working on their own way to escape, but if there's a way we can help them, we should try and plan it out.
What if we dominate Sagar Cool? You get me close enough.
Apparently, he isn't actually alive. Well, I've been told that apparently the homunculus has been ruling his cabal in his stead, and he's been integrated into the Soul Reaver.
Okay, step 2. What if we dominate the homunculus?
I mean, I'm not a psyker. I rely upon you as a psyker to know if that's possible.
I turn to the Harlequin because I don't know if I can do that to Dark Eldar since they don't have souls.
Okay. So the Harlequin does speak in quite good Low Gothic,
but in rhyming couplets with Shakespearean language. Please go ahead, James.
Just imagine what I said comes out in the iambic pentameter. The homunculus is protected by the Soul Reaver. His mind and it are linked.
So we need to kill the Soul Reaver.
Perhaps this would help. he produces from his reaches into his robe and pulls out what looks like some sort of Drukhari device. It's like some sort of transmitter.
Okay, what is this? I'm curious.
It's a detonator for explosives set by the Drukhari that was working with you.
Why have you not triggered it?
I am not Fate's hand, I am Fate's messenger.
I'm wearing my blindfold, but I roll my eyes anyway.
Okay,
because it's just such a strong instinct. All right, I'm going to snatch it out of his hand, and I'm going to look at Shrain and say, my apologies, Inquisitor Shrain. Why are we working with these people? They are incredibly incompetent.
Well, they helped get you out of there. And from what my understanding is that everything that we are doing right now cannot be planned for by the God of Change. That as far as Tzeentch is concerned, that you died in the Soul Reaver.
I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. You can't say that name.
I have sanction.
We don't say that name. I'm just saying.
Okay. What would you prefer? Lord of Change?
Okay, Lord of Change is fine. All right.
God of Lies? Okay.
You just
see a pink horse show up in the corner and say, what's up?
Look, I'm just saying at school, they taught me you can't say that name.
And the Harlequin turns to Shrey and says, there is power in names. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, I know. I have read Inquisitorial tomes.
Okay.
But
so you're telling me that I'm the only one that can pull this trigger that will definitely destroy the Soul Reaver.
Well, I mean, anyone can pull the trigger, except we're nowhere near. We're not in the Nexus right now, so we're probably out of range. I don't think this thing works. I don't know if it's better that you don't know. And the Solitaire says we're in the Black Library of Chaos.
Did you say of chaos?
Strange, because it's not what it sounds like. This place is a record of the Eldari have catalogued all they've learned about chaos here with the hope of one day defeating it. So this is their repository of knowledge about chaos.
Probably a lot of She Her Thirsts manuals around here. I don't know that Androchiron would say that. Anyway. Well, it's very nice, I'm sure. All right, so I mean, if you brought me back there, which I'm not sure why I left at this point, I could pull this trigger, which you apparently had but didn't do. But I don't know that that solves our problem. I mean, destroying the Soul Reaver will allow me to go absolute rampage mode. And
No. It won't destroy the Soul Reaver. It will separate the Soul Reaver from the city's power grid.
Well, that's slightly less useful, right? That will stop the guns, which means do you know about the Selene Morn plot?
Yes, I was on your ship when that was all organized.
It's hard to tell, Inquisitor. Your presence is so tertiary.
Morn has learned of Cool's apparent demise. So
wow, news is going so fast.
When the guns are down, she will attack without any doubt.
Do we want that?
Well, this is why we're here, is to work out the best way. We need to get out your friends, and we need to get out this Eldar that apparently you're looking for. He is... our Solitaire friend here tells me that he is key to your success in what's ahead.
Ah, right. We're relying on Eldari diviners in order to direct our course.
that, and I have instructions from above to see this through.
An Inquisitor Lord.
Yes, let's go with that.
How much further above do things go than that?
Once again, there are things that the more you know, the shorter your lifespan past this event is going to be.
I apologize. I'm so used to knowing everything.
You can just see the information there at the edge of his mind. You know, a little bit of psychic reading with, you know. It's up to you though. Don't let
just
me tempt you.
warned me against doing it. I'm more likely to read the Solitaire's mind at this point.
I tell my kids not to do things all the time, and they immediately do them.
I can see you trying to bait me to do this, James, but I have no inclination.
I'm just letting you know your options. I didn't know if you'd read the character sheet and everything.
There are many people who Androchiron would read the mind of with no problem. But an Inquisitor, I feel like the Black Ships definitely instilled in him a fear of fucking around with an Inquisitor.
Okay.
It's not even slightly an option. I have to be honest here. If you can see the future, are you sure that their escape attempt will not succeed based on their own? Lord Captain Pierre Cowles is a two-fisted man who goes into every fight guns blazing. He never fails in order to connect the punch with both arms.
No.
Nothing will stump that man.
Let me. I can't see the future. I can't see the future, nor can my solitaire friend. We are relying upon. You're right. We are relying upon the information of those who claim to have some foreknowledge.
But they believe that we need to intervene, that they will not simply succeed even if we just sit here and stare at this detonator and talk about the library.
They believe that every possible way they can see they escape includes some interaction on our part.
I have to say, it is difficult for me to imagine crawling over miles of a Dark Eldar Civil War battleground, getting to our ship, preparing the ship to leave, and then leaving while the ship is again in a Civil War battleground next to a city full of Chaos worshippers. I think things will go very poorly if Selene Morn is involved.
I mean, and this is why we need to have this conversation. I don't know whether triggering off the Civil War you described is the right thing, or whether it requires a more. Do you have any idea how the others will try and escape their bondage? They've been given to a gladiatorial pit.
Dawn will immediately try to fight Talon Balewing. I expect that she will attempt to fly out of the arena. The Lord Captain, being a cunning warrior, will acquire 2 pistols using both of his very real human hands and fight his way out. The real question is what Adrian Thorne will do. I expect that a man of his spec will attempt to acquire a vehicle of some kind, like a hoverboard, or perhaps something more 80s based but radical, covered in skulls.
No, wait a second. Adrian also has foreknowledge. He's already organized for all of their equipment to be in a position they can access when they need it.
If Adrian had foreknowledge, why didn't I read it when I read his mind? Several times, invasively and repeatedly.
I can't speak to your skill as a psych, I'm afraid.
Oh, savage.
Androchiron takes the rebuke because this is an Inquisitor and he's been trained, probably indoctrinated. They just says, you're right. I'll need to sharpen my skills. All right. If Adrian has foreknowledge and has all of their equipment available, I expect the following. 1, Adrian will have 2 power fists. 2, Shit. Do I know that Dawn tried to summon her equipment and failed? Did that happen while Androchiron was around?
It was when it was at the party. So I don't know if Dawn told. Do you tell them, Dawn, or not?
I believe I sent a runner.
Okay.
But I remember you saying that the runner would have been caught.
Yeah, but I mean, like
something.
Yeah, but so let's assume that Dawn told everybody else when it didn't work.
Okay.
You're all together that when it didn't work the first time.
So for Androchiron's point of view, if Dawn is free to do whatever she needs to, she'll probably succeed, especially if Adrian is there to guide her. So removing... Oh, shit. If I remove the Soul Reaver's connection to the city, that doesn't stop the Soul Reaver from blocking psychic power, right? It just turns off the guns and the lights.
Unless it's somehow also its power is enhanced by the secret as well, but no one knows that. So that's
Androchiron definitely doesn't know that.
Yeah. So
also, it would be weird.
Thing.
It would be weird for the city to provide power to the thing that is providing the city power.
Yeah.
That would be nonsensical.
If you blew that up, I might even be able to start my Morbin, you know what I mean?
No, you're not going to Morb at all. You're not a vampire.
Okay.
Sorry, I mean connect with the God Emperor. Sorry, what did I say?
So the Solitaire speaks now. Like the Drakari around it, the Soul Reaver feeds on death. If once bodies start falling, the Soul Reaver's power will begin to increase.
So you're saying we cannot allow the bodies to hit the floor. The fewer casualties, the better.
Unless you can find a way to turn the Soul Reaver to your will, in which case the more power it has, the better it is for you.
That sounds dangerous for several reasons, starting with the fact that even approaching it, I am totally blind. By approaching it, I just mean like general area within a few miles of it. I can't see anything. Very difficult to operate machinery from that point of view.
Perhaps the Soul Reaver hungers so much because it is constantly being drained by the city.
Do you know something that you need to share with the class, Solitaire?
This is purely a guess. I understand the ways of the Dark Gods better than I understand the ways of other races.
I think we have to do this without relying on the Soul Reaver. We don't know enough about it to include it in our plans. And attempting to do anything with it could upset the plans.
I mean,
If it doesn't work in the way that we assume it works, we will definitely be screwed. We need to help them with what they have right now.
We need to throw a bomb-ass party and drain the city of its power.
That's the opposite. It'll just make the Soul Reaver hungrier.
What was Ryan Reynolds' character in that that college movie he was in? Fuck.
Van
It was
Wilder.
like American Pie.
Van Wilder.
Van Wilder. Call that motherfucker in.
Inquisitor, what is the likelihood of arranging transportation on world?
What do you need?
Preferably something that can... these blood pits, they are a actual open pit, correct? The blood spine pits?
Yeah. So, are they open tops? Can you fly in and out of them?
Yes.
So they are visually open, but there is some sort of like ghost net that prevents the they have flying beasts as well that also compete in the arena. So they need to.
Is that ghost net powered by the Soul Reaver powering the city?
Well, it's powered by the city. So if the city loses access to the Soul Reaver, then there will start to be power problems throughout the city until they find a way to compensate.
But we can't be sure that the ghost net will run out first, immediately.
So I guess we need to understand what the Drakari consider to be critical
critical
power.
Infrastructure. Yes. I don't know. This flying in plan, I'm not liking it very much right now. Do we have access to teleportation in any way?
You have a flat pack teleportarium inside your vessel right now, but
That's
still
not
needs time to be assembled.
If
I
I
agree.
cannot read Swedish.
if only we had access to some way of going back in time to arrange for us to eventually.
I also thought that was going on the Heart of Majesty, wasn't
It
it?
is.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but it hasn't been. Has that operation been done? I think High Majesty was being repaired first, and you still have like the flat
Yes,
pack.
we still have the device. It's actually.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So teleporter, it's like within this sort of weird IKEA writing.
Okay, forget all those other plans. What do we know about the resistance in the city?
So slaves obviously outnumber the Drukhari significantly. It really comes down to a combined will to fight. Like with most slave uprisings, it's simply enough have to accept that many will die, but they will be eventually victorious.
What is our access to arms and ammunition?
We have whatever we have whatever we can access from your ship. Whatever the Eldar can give us.
Oh,
I turned to the
5,000
elder.
las guns.
And a tank battalion. Well, no, the tank battalion's not with us, is it? Or the tank regiment?
No, it is.
It
Is
is.
it? Okay.
It's definitely on the ship.
Yeah.
I'm really considering using it right now.
We got some bomb ass stuff. We can get it out. That's
Yeah. I turn to the Eldari and see what Solitaire has to say.
I can provide a full war host if necessary.
What is a war host in equivalent terminology?
Probably about 50 or 60 Harlequin warriors plus their hover tanks
Okay.
and bikes.
Your people, forgive me because I've never actually seen one of your performances. Your people encourage the hearts of others through interpretive murder dance, correct?
We enact the will of our God, and that will drives the attitudes of those that encounter us.
Can I request a performance of something uprising-y? Perhaps a historical reenactment or future prophecy of a uprising that might inspire the frail hearts of Eldari slaves to rise up?
Yes, I know the exact act.
Julius Caesar. I also know it quite well. Inquisitor, I do not have the authority to order our tank regiment into combat, nor do I have the authority on board the ship to unload the armory of 5,000 lasguns with ammunition packs and transport them in as close to secrecy as possible through the city to the Bloodspine pits so that we can bust down the front door and start arming slaves in every direction possible.
Don't worry about authority. I have unlimited authority. So
Yes, I know. I was teeing you up.
Okay.
Just to be aware, I am but a regular crewman on the ship, not an officer in any way.
motherfucker better not think he can order around my guys in
Well,
my
I mean-
space.
I mean, if Solitaire here is to be believed, you might be the linchpin upon which the success of this whole event transpires. Your presence here is the one unknown.
You'll forgive me if I am not encouraged by the vagaries of fate and Eldari fortune-telling. Divination is my weakest school, and
Right.
frankly,
This
I
is not-
find it useless.
Trust me when I say that human diviners are involved in this as well. This is not purely the Eldari give us access to certain things, but we're not taking their word for it.
I believe that with as much secrecy as Lord General somebody who I could look up, but I'm not going to. Might be Lord Colonel. Can muster a casual visit the town with a convoy of guns behind it, with orders to immediately enforce any level of violence on the way to the Bloodspine pits. Maybe just what we need. If Adrian is forewarned, but if he's forewarned of these events, but he doesn't know that I'm here because nobody can know that I'm here, then he won't know that we are doing what we're doing. It doesn't matter.
Well, so
we need, if the slaves start rising up and the captain has access to both of his hands, this plan will definitely succeed.
I love that if he's got both hands. So can I cut in with a possible scene here, James?
Yeah, sure.
So as I cut to like 3 days ago, and Adrian's sitting in his office to strain, and he goes, "But you have to make him think it's his idea." And then he hands Strain like a sheaf of orders for like the tank crews and like.
Strain says to you, to Androchiron, that I'm sure whatever you think we need to do, I can make it work.
Perfect. This is probably what Adrian would do if he was in charge here. That's who I'm going to have to rely on as my inspiration. With my own 2 hands that I have, just like the captain. All right. I mean, I guess the plan to fake a USO tour filled with a convoy of guns. I mean, we're rogue traders. This is pretty normal for rogue trader stuff. And I'm sure they're expecting a betrayal, and technically they betrayed us first.
All right. So you start taking that away with the help of Strain and the Harlequins. Meanwhile, back in the Bloodspine pits, the group of you are led by this warrior to where they pulled together most of the slaves from that chamber you were in before, and they have a number of trials they put them through. The first one appears to be they get 2 of the slaves, throw them into a pit together, and they're told to basically kill each other with their bare hands. And ones that do well are put through the next part of the, is able to be a gladiator type thing. Thorne's not going to be asked to do this, but definitely Adrian and Pierre are going to be asked to fight to the death with their bare hands.
Against each other?
No, like
No.
or anything?
No. Well, I mean, like it's in an arena, so if you can, it's everything goes. If you can throw dirt in people's eyes, if you can find some sort of weapon, that's fine. But you're not keeping one going in.
Are we proficient in hand-to-hand combat?
Sorry?
Are we proficient in hand-to-hand combat?
Do you have the unarmed warrior talent?
No, I don't even know if that's an option.
Is there a way that I can
I do now.
No, that's the thing that a rogue trader does not get. Other than universal, that's about it. All right.
Yep.
Would it be under basic weapon training?
Yeah, I mean, like everyone's it's primitive. I mean, it's you're always trained with your own fists. That's fine. It's
Okay.
just they count as primitive. That's right, because you're not fighting armored opponents. It is just literally a slog fest.
Excellent. That should be perfect at that. Totally.
Right.
With my 2 perfectly working hands.
Yeah. All right. So rather than doing full combats here against miscellaneous pleaders, because you are literally being thrown in with like just other captured slaves, I would like, please, from Dave, you're asked about whether you can do something to help as well too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because they are being sent in individually, and you don't have any drugs you can give them.
So I can't fight on the behalf of
No, it's to prove that they're worthwhile.
Okay.
We'll be fine, probably.
I like the idea that I can see them, right, fighting. I'm going to, like, throw a rock at the other dude.
Okay, nice.
Just, like, fucking...
Okay.
Brain
so
him.
we'll start with Adrian first.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna do this as a weapon skill test, and I'm gonna give you +10 for Dawn's integration.
Okay.
You're welcome.
So,
Bro.
I'm gonna spend a fate point on that.
Okay.
Bro. What did you roll? I'm curious.
A 96.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, you deserve to fail that one.
Wow.
Now I'm gonna roll for your opponent. Wow. Okay.
Oh, you got fucked up.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to say that I'm not going to narrate this thing before it happens. So Adrian, you step into this arena, and the door. They don't actually send like another Slaven with you. It's like you hear a couple of Eldari talking, and there's some comment from Pierre he hears that they've already figured that you guys are more experienced individuals. You're not just any other slaves put in, so they want to give you a real test. The figure that walks out into the arena, it's not the full arena, it's just like a small, like mini challenge arena under the ground still with a roof, is easily 8 foot tall, made of slabs of muscle with various connection points for power armor.
Oh shit! Okay.
Where the black carapace sticks through.
Fucking Mortal Kombat himself walks out.
Yeah. I was thinking for a second I was gonna have to fight an ogre, but this is even worse.
And instead, you have to fight somebody who's more bang.
He comes out and he does like a two-fisted salute to you. I don't.
Namaste. I hope you like your teeth.
I don't choose to fight you, but the honor of my chapter requires that I accept your defeat.
Rock hits him in the face as he's saying it.
And he's like a little cut on his cheek.
It's like, oh shit, he's serious. So essentially, he gets sent to fight against the bad henchman, the one that's oversized, and be like, I punched him and my hand hurts.
So there's not much contest. This guy is completely outclassed Adrian melee combat. Now, despite the fact that the Drukhari claimed it would be to the death, at least to inspire the fighters, you don't see that as part of it. But effectively, the moment you're down, they drag you off to heal you up again. It was more of it's a test really, but you got
my shit
around your
in. Yeah.
Probably I had my power glove, she says as he's dragged off, missing 4 teeth. Yeah.
Do you have this thing in the US? So there's this thing we have in Australia with all the news channels. They have weather reporters who go out into the field and do like the weather report, where there's like some community thing going on. Not so much in the weather itself, but like they'll do it for like a school that's got like a new, herb garden or something in there. Like it's like people reporting as well as reporting the weather. One of those like sort of in the street newscasters this week in Australia decided to go to like a boxing gym. Where like one of Australia's champion boxers is currently training. I'm like, while I read the weather, I'm going to go like, 15 seconds in the ring with this champion boxer, and he ended up with 7 broken ribs.
That's you.
Yeah, that's me right now. Yeah, exactly.
Is there a video of that, James? I kind of want to see it. Actually.
Just look up like it's Grant Denyer. I'll put his name in the chat. Grant Denyer boxing. I
just want to make a SpongeBob meme of Adrian going, I've foreseen the future. This is all going to plan. Just coughing up a tooth.
All right. Now, Pondo, you go in. Give me a weapon skill roll +10 for Dawn's timely assistance.
Okay. All right. Let's see how badly I fail. Actually, not that badly in comparison.
Okay.
I'll roll it if I can.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, okay.
I was about to say, come on, boys.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because you're ambidextrous too, aren't you? You're. I don't know that Pierre's really fights with any degree of style when it comes to unarmed. It's probably a bit more windmilling, but you certainly
I'd say
have.
he fights like the old style fisticuffs.
Oh, okay, no, I see. Yeah. And probably what you're not used to is the first time you punch with your left hand, like it's not comfortable, but it's got some weight behind it because it's pretty much made of like scrap metal. So
Right.
it actually like half caves this other slave's head in from just the weight of the blow. It hurts like fuck for you because it's not well cushioned into the stump of your arm. But you knock this other slave out and he gets dragged away for medical aid. So the two of you have completed this. Now, Dawn, while this is all going on, the same the same witch that originally came into the cells approaches you while you're watching. You are Anyalra's new champion. Yes? The one...
I like slowly turn and look at this succubus, and I was like, no. You must have me mistaken for someone who gives a shit.
You need no trials, but you not fight Balwing straight away. You must win crowd so that betting happen. You fight
literally
other fights first.
We've been doing this shit. Like literally like scratching. What do you want me to do? You want me to dance and sing?
No,
You want me to do a little twirl out there?
We want you fight.
So if I go out there and I cave this man's skull in and walk back in.
Oh, this is
You're
not right
gonna be
now.
fine with
She's letting you know that you're not. It's not like you're going to go straight from here to fighting Talon Balwing. But they need to build you up. They need to have the. They need to set the storyline first. Have the whole heel face turn. Where you walk out and you trash talk Talon Balwing, where you fight someone else to get the right to fight him. It's all there's a bit of theatricality involved in this.
Adrian's got the money in the bank.
That's right. Yeah, you've got to climb a ladder to get a briefcase that lets you fight Talon Balwing. That sort of thing.
God, that would be the most dark Eldar shit, though.
So I'll say to this woman, succubus heretic, I'll say to her, it's like, look, if you want me doing all this pomp and pageantry, then you have to let us go right now. There is no slavery if you want this. Otherwise, I am going to fight, kick, and scream and be against anything that you ask of me or your master asks of me.
You won't fight. You're useless. You become food for fiends.
You won't have any fiends left to feed.
Think about. She wanders off. All right. Pierre is brought back to the rest of you. Sorry, not Pierre. Sorry, Adrian's brought back to the rest of you, like bloodied and bruised, but healed by the Drakari doctors.
I'm going to, in front of everyone that's in this room, I'm going to Medicaid, but like
Divine
with
administration.
divine administration. Yeah. So this is without any tools, right? So I don't have anything here with me, but I want to do it in front of an audience, right? I want people to witness, that there is.
Pierre's going to help you with that. He's really, hello, fellow slaves. Come one, come all, witness the miracle of the God Emperor you have left behind.
Give me a bladder test.
Mostly Eldari, right? So.
Actually, no. The majority of the slaves are human.
Oh, okay.
That was my understanding. Yes.
Yeah.
I had the opposite understanding.
I'm going to assume that I don't get the renown warrant.
No, that's fine.
Okay. I barely passed that. That's
people getting around. There's certainly some interest in it. I'm going to do your Medicaid test. Oh,
Right.
like don't I hype
I'll
you
re-roll
up.
that. Well, normally I'm rolling with a +20 here, so you have to excuse me. Yeah, I'll take
Yeah.
a
There we
3.
go. Okay. So Adrian, you're healed to full.
All right.
But big bright light comes out. His wounds knit together. His teeth pop back out of his mouth.
Yeah, both my black eyes, the spear of the broken nose writes itself.
Yep.
So
A little bit of his hair that was in his teeth pops out. It's good.
So you're told the remaining 2 trials you must face are the trial of agony and the trial of terror.
Sounds painful.
Yeah. So the trial of agony is to basically see how well you handle pain.
Of course.
Effectively, they're just going to torture you for a while just to see how you react to it. Because at the end of the
There's
day,
this movie called Morbius. Have you seen it?
they're feeding on your pain as the Dark Eldar do. And then following that, you will be exposed to terrors to see how well your mind holds up to them.
Again, it's the movie Morbius.
Okay, so are we happy to stand through these trials?
I think so, because Pierre is behind trying to get a coup going as far as a right with the slaves.
All right. So we'll start with Adrian first. So Adrian, I need for the trial of pain, or trial of agony, sorry. I need your choice of either a -30 willpower roll or a -30 toughness test.
Ooh. Well, my toughness is slightly better than my willpower, so we'll go toughness test at -30. Let's see, a 60. Do I dare
60 under 12?
Yeah, do I dare re-roll that and hope for a better than? Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, that's a bit better. Okay, so
Twice is good.
So you do pass out under the torture, which pretty much involves things like, typical things like waterboarding, electrical shock, like nothing to cause any sort of they do. So they also use like fire to burn your skin as well. But it's like
Sure.
It's just, and they're just seeing how much pain, how much you can withstand before you pass out. So you did manage to hold it quite long. They quite like your ability to receive pain. So you'll be popular, especially in some of like the more arduous bouts where it's like not over quickly.
So there's this bout they call the pyramid, right? Where you have to climb to the top, but there's former gladiators that try and push you down.
So I think
It's blazing laser.
one of the other things that we see in the scene is so when they're burning his skin and like we see that on his left arm and shoulder there are portions where he has been ritually scarring himself because of the psychic breaks that he has suffered in the past.
All right, Pierre, it's your turn up next to face the trial of agony.
You're not going to tell them about the full back tattoo of Nero?
That's actually a Steve-O going.
So is this done in front of a crowd, or is it done in private?
It's done. Well, it's not incomplete. Well, sorry, because the torture goes on for over an hour, so people don't stand around watching it the whole time.
Okay.
So,
all right, then. Never mind. Motivational speech is not needed in this situation then. Okay.
Solid Snake getting tortured in Metal Gear Solid 2.
It's got to match the button, man. Okay, so what's the... It's the same roll either way for me.
Okay.
I don't know what the effects of doing either or are. I'm guessing just pick the better of the two.
Pick the better of the two, yeah.
Okay. You said
Go to your
minus
happy
30?
place.
-30.
Okay. I'll go ahead and reroll it. There's no
shame in that.
shame, probably. Oh, I passed it.
Oh, wow. Look at
Damn. Yeah, it went from a 50 to a 5.
that. Okay, no worries. Yeah. And word quickly spreads, throughout the arena that this new rogue trade and stuff. He withstood everything the Eldar could throw against him when it came to agony. Yeah. So
are you the type that's like making quips? Like you're like, oh yeah, just work that my lower spine a bit better, please. Like,
all I'm thinking is Casino Royale when
I was about to say,
yeah.
You'll be known as the one that was scratching my balls as I killed you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, you do very well. Okay, so we're going to subject Adrian to the trial of terror. Before I describe this, I want to ask, is Adrian on his own fearless?
Yes.
He is. Okay, no worries. So
You have the talent?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So while you're watching, they walk Adrian out over like a metal plate on the floor. And you hear like a machine start up, and Adrian becomes momentarily weightless. He's in some sort of gravity tube where he doesn't, his feet come off the ground, and the thing beneath him opens up like a trapdoor, and he falls down, and you don't see what happens to him down the hole. But they tell you that when he comes out later on, that he saw no fear whatsoever in the face of what he saw down the hole. But now it's Pierre's go. And is Pierre on his own fearless?
Yeah, he is.
Yes, okay, you got fearless too. Okay, cool. So I'll describe this to you then. So you go and stand above the hole as well, and you drop down. You don't fall like hurting yourself. Like the gravity well allows you to sort of fall down and land on the ground. But you end up in a dark subterranean chamber. And you see something moving in the darkness, and as it comes towards you, it's a gene stealer. It's been captured by the Dark Eldar.
That's a dangerous game.
Yeah, so normally it would induce you to be a fear check at this point in time, but as it charged that, you realise that it's actually chained, so that it can't actually get to you. Like it pulls up short as the chains choke on its neck, but you don't. Other slaves might have already panicked at the sight of it in the first place, but when you're brought out, they admit that you have shown that. So they're impressed by both you and Adrian passing the test of fear with no regard for the dangers beneath. So you've actually already the slaves are quite talking about what's going on here. There's definitely some interest. Something that you learned just from the conversations. The only slave who is actually consistently restrained is the brother captain. The brother sergeant. Sorry, he has. He basically, when he's not fighting, he is locked with adamantine chains that he can't break inside the cell. Others can still go and talk to him, but he can't leave his own cell. All the other slaves have free movement around the underground area. It seems to be that the main sort of power players here, there is another rogue trader who's been here for some time, a woman by the name of Anya Shen. There's a group of Kroot slaves that are led by a single Kroot by the name of Hack. They're among the various psychers who have the collars. There is one psyker named Nija, who is considered to be sort of like the lead weird. And then finally there is an Eldar Corsair captain by the name of Rel Hadhar and Tariel, who has a lot of the Eldar get behind him. Those Eldar that don't already support Talon Balwing. So they seem to be the core factions in play.
Okay. I think. Pierre's
You also
gonna
you also find out that the witch that first introduced you here is a witch by the name of Anarlan. She moved into position of the head witch of Anyala's sort of cadre after the previous one was killed by Dawn.
Of course. Like Pierre, after him and Adrian have kind of recovered, got back to their senses. Not that we were affected much by the fear thing. Would I call for a group huddle with him and Don?
Sure.
Yes, Lord Captain.
So obviously, if we are to hopefully succeed here, we need to get as many minds together as possible.
Oh, just before we continue, I was approached by that harlot and her lackeys, and I was told to play ball. I promptly told them to fuck off, but she implied that there would be consequences. So I just wanted to get an understanding here. Do I have to bend the knee? Is that what you want me to do? Is that going to help us escape? Or am I going to make this difficult for everyone as long as possible?
I think it's at that point, if you want to be as much of a pain to them as possible, that's on your own terms. Obviously, at this point, we can't really do much to prevent them from taking you away, other than you going and killing as many on your way out as possible.
The longer we can stall, I think, the more time we give those on the outside to act.
Indeed.
Outside? What are you talking about?
Our missing psyker.
Well, he's probably dead.
Oh, he is long
Perhaps. There's also those on the ship. Our absence will be noticed.
The most they can do is bomb this place.
So the Gyrinx has been chilling this whole time, but when someone says Androchiron, it starts walking around Adrian in a circle and looks up at him and gives him a significant EC glance. This Gyrinx is woke. He's in on the plan.
I'm not going to fight any longer. Fine, the Gyrinx is here.
What is this giant rat?
You've worn him down.
Yeah, it's like when your kids want to like wear the Spider-Man costume to the shops. Is it really going to matter if you just say yes?
Where do you want him to be, James? Where do you want the Gyrinx to be?
I just don't think what the Dark Elder would do if they captured the Gyrinx.
That's why he snuck into the prisoner cells here.
Okay, there you go. All right, there you go. Yeah, he's a cat.
This is Androchiron's companion animal.
And I knew that. What about him?
So I was at
the point of it.
I don't know why it's here. But in any case,
it looks
emergency
hungry.
Rations.
Yeah, emergency rations.
All right, Kitchen and back. Calm down.
I believe you are correct, Lord Commodore. We need to gather the factions of the slaves here and prepare for an uprising.
You said there was a space marine here?
Yes, there is a space marine here. He beat the shit out of me earlier. I don't know
if it wasn't already clear, by the way, Talon Balwing is here as well, somewhere in these pits.
Okay, well then,
would we have access to him?
Apparently, you have access to everybody.
I'm going to then, like, if that knowledge was made to me, I probably would have attempted to find him at some point. Maybe while they were getting tortured for an hour.
Romance that crosses 3 seasons. The two of them can only put their hands up on the bars while looking at each other. I see you in my dreams. Please stop.
Now, this is going to be a scene where we both like see each other from a distance. We finger gun each other, like, "What up, dude?"
So when you go looking for Talon, like, you ask around and people point you to where his private cell is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you do sort of look, like you look over there once you sort of play that way, and you see he does have like the cell looks familiar to what you saw in your dreams in terms of where it is, and in this case, like the door is open, he can come and go from it. It's just like his room basically, but it's exposed to the outside. But the man you see inside looks different to what you experience in your dreams. He looks noticeably older. Whereas you were sort of looking at someone in your dreams that would be, in their early 30s by our standards. This person looks like they're in their early 50s. And world weary as well. But sort of sitting in the cell, probably just in like some sort of quiet meditation.
I walk in and I say, "This place looks familiar."
Okay. I put my cord stuck in my chair. To answer your question, it's been about 2 years since these communications first started. He looks up at you. Sorry, do I know you?
It's only fair that I interrupt your dreams like you used to do to mine.
He looks at you. Are you Thorne?
In the flesh, this time, finally.
I always wondered what you look like.
That's strange. I thought you could see me.
I'm the only one who can see the real you.
I could see to your mind, not to your physical form.
Did I look like some weird creature?
No, I always told you that you were a radiant light, a powerful soul.
I see.
But something about it. This place, it's dimmed your light. Are you okay?
Let's just say there's such heresy here that I find it hard to be radiant, as you put it. I bend down to his level. I assume he's still crouched or something.
No, he stood up. He stood up now. He stood up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But he's. I mean, how tall is Dawn? Would you say, like feet inches?
Normal girl height, I would say.
Okay.
She's not yeah.
Okay, so
not exceptionally tall or short or anything like that. So
yeah. So he's Eldar are a little bit shorter, so he's probably about the same height as you. Then.
Okay, yeah. So we had attempted to free you. That obviously went awry, so your participation in the upcoming events will be helpful if you still wish to leave this place.
Yes, I know that my path forward is helping you. So what do we need to do? What have you established?
There is a Adeptus, is that how you say it?
Adeptus?
Yeah. There's an Adeptus here, and there are heretical Imperial members here. I will expunge as much heresy as I can from this place and convert them to our side, and we will use supreme numbers in order to make our way out of here. Unless you have something better.
So, I can help with rallying the Eldar troops. They often come to me for help when they
that would be very helpful.
Struggling to manage the impacts of this place. We'll need to perhaps smuggle in some more weapons. We'll have more success if we can bring in more weapons.
Well, this would be your area of expertise. We've been here for all of an hour. So
a few hours. Half a day.
Yeah. Is this Dave, is this conversation taking place while Adrian
you're being tortured, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to give you it's just Dawn and Taylor right now.
It's always been just Dawn and Taylor.
Okay.
I'm gonna make this a romance. I'm gonna do it.
All right. Well, are you here alone, or you have allies?
I have 2 companions with me, and one that has expired recently. I'm not sure how much help he can be from beyond the grave.
All right. Well, what we need to do then is I will start to gather around the people that I need to help coordinate to do anything large scale, and then we should all meet my allies, and you and yours. We can meet quite freely here. The Drakari don't pay much attention to what the slaves do.
Great. My companions are currently being tortured for some asinine reason. Once they are I assume so. Some dumb reason. When they are done, I will gather them and we will discuss. Now we're here. Look at that. Amazing. And I'll introduce them. Talon Balewing, Father Edition.
Did you see Pierre trying to smack Adrian awake? Come on. Wasn't that bad? Come on.
So this is the young prince.
Yes, the man of Dawn's dreams.
Could you perhaps phrase that better?
I'm no young prince.
No, he was a man that was in your dreams. What? Oh, you took it the remote. Oh, I see. Never mind. I apologize.
I hardly know his family heritage.
Sorry, where did you hear that phrase?
The man of his dreams?
No, young prince.
Through a
seer.
Yes.
It's he rattles off like a Eldari word, which your translation tells you it's basically young prince. It has special meaning among my people. It refers to a warrior whose sacrifice leads our race to great victories.
Indeed. It was a seer that referred to as that when we visited a station of the Eldari on one of my planets.
But there could be no young prince without a craft world.
Wasn't the one planet a craft world? Or no, it's craft world's all just bone and dreary and.
So the implication from the Farseer was that you needed the space station to serve to do what a craft world would be needed for normally.
Okay. All right then, and I suppose he was looking at the station on one of my lands as the substitute for a craft world, at least temporarily.
So, is there? Well, you probably wouldn't know, but okay. Well, let's assume yes. But anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Getting to that space station is a distant plan. Getting out of here is what we need to do first.
Right.
Through my inquiries, Thorne, it sounds like you were originally setting up to fight me in the arena.
We had no other way of getting in contact with you, so I assume getting into the arena together would give us an opportunity to speak. But, we've achieved that now, so...
I'm trying to find ways to increase our chances of success of this escape plan. One thought is that there are a lot of guards here, well armed. We could end up in a situation where we lose 2/3 of our numbers, and the rebellion is suppressed, and we're starting it from scratch. We'll be here for years longer. If we were to engineer circumstances where you and I were to meet in the arena as a championship match, that would be a significant distraction. A lot of the guards down here would definitely leave to go and watch that. That would give those here a significant opportunity to gain control of the pits.
Interesting.
I'm not known for pulling my punches. I hope you realize. It's not something that I do quite often. You would probably end up being quite hurt during this process.
We only need to fight until the rebellion has begun. If they can find a way to bring down the ghost net, we can escape.
Ghost net? What is that? What's the ghost net?
It's a barrier over the roof of the Colosseum, which allows the Dark Eldar to prevent anything that can fly from escaping.
Wait, do you have ways to fly?
Because of my champion status, they allow me to fight with my flight pack, and I would insist that Thorne also be allowed to have some mechanism to make the match fair.
I see.
Interesting.
So you would use that as an opportunity to fully escape while everybody else is committing the coup.
Especially if that would once we can draw further attention away from what's happening down here.
Do you have any contacts on the outside of the pits?
Definitely. Yeah, there's a whole information network. I think to signify this at this point in time, like a slave turns up now with the message that you had organised to be smuggled to Talon Balwing over the course of a few days.
Yeah, we put that planet in.
There is
Yeah, at least they're more efficient than the Australian embassy in Chicago.
Wow. This is a callback episode.
Yeah.
You know, some guy's grandfather smuggled that message in his butthole to get it here, and we got here first. You know,
I really got to give the captain two hands for that joke.
So, your dad carried this watch up his ass.
Yeah. And his dad before that.
So the other thing is we need to get more faith in our plan. Obviously, you should be able to get most, if not all, the Eldar on our side. I'll have to work on the humans as much as I possibly can. There's another rogue trader here that I am trying to think if I recall anything about them at the moment.
Do you have common law rogue traders?
I do indeed.
Give me a roll.
I'm contemplating it. Oh, there you go. All right.
Okay.
Didn't really need it.
Yep. So that was, what's her name? Captain Anya Shen of the rogue trader of the hostile transaction.
Of course. I see how they ended up here.
Yeah, a Havoc class merchant raider. So she is a relatively minor rogue trader, one of the ones given warrant to explore the Koronus Expanse, has been missing for about 4 or 5 years now. Like there's nothing that tells you that they're an outright heretic. You know, that they were just probably what you know about her was that she doesn't have a lot of time for fools. She's a very direct person. And probably with a bit of a gambling problem.
I actually took gambling, so that'd be perfect, actually.
Gambling, you say?
So
we're gonna escape, and they'll have already lost the ship. That's what I know.
Well, so the story you pick up from talking to people here is that apparently she did become involved in gambling in the Nexus and was tricked into putting herself and her ship up as collateral for a bad deal.
That's awful. Okay. They probably haven't learned their lesson either.
I see. And one final question for you. Do you have any understanding as to why that my personal religious beliefs would be blocked in any way in here? I'm finding it quite murky to reach out for a guiding hand.
So I'm not a seer, but from what I understand, your people use the warp, the Sea of Souls, to traverse real space and also to communicate through, and it allows you a connection to your god. The webway is a construct within the warp that the Eldari created to shield their cities and their vessels from the warp. So energies of the warp can't pass through from the outside of the webway to within without significant damage to the webway. So if the strength that you draw from your god, as we do from ours, is inherent to the soul stream, then being within the webway like this potentially limits your ability to access that power.
All right. That's a sufficient explanation, I suppose.
Yeah. I don't mean to try and call your faith something scientific, but this is the understanding of my people. we also worship gods, and we've also experienced similar things. We have to build shrines within the webway in order to access. Well, before our gods died.
You don't need to explain it any further. It's heretical stuff blocking my access to my faith. Yes, I understand it.
Pierre was actually like leaning in to learn more, and then it's like, oh.
I like look around for like confirmation from my companions. Like that's exactly what's happening. It's like, yeah, of course.
Adrian's definitely nodding. Yeah,
makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Pierre does is like, yeah, yes, of course, that's heretical, totally. Don't need to know anymore. Damn it.
Big spinning cylinders in space block access to my god. Yes, of course. We will blow it up on the way out.
So,
by a slight chance, has you and the rest of the Eldar spoke with the Kroot?
I mean, she is known to us. Hack, you mean Nazarick Hack?
Yes.
Or Nashrick Hack. Indeed, she is. I believe that you could quite easily make an ally of her. I don't know how much you understand about Kroot culture, but they have a leader caste, a group known as Shapers. Nazarick lost her Shaper when they were captured, so she is the most senior among them, but by the same token, she is no leader. Kroot, at a genetic level, struggle to operate without the guidance of a Shaper. A person with a strong sense of, or strong ability to control others or to win others over should be able to get the Kroot on side easily.
Only we had some sort of charismatic leader who could give them 2 hands worth of help.
Not something I can do, unfortunately.
I think Pierre's just thinking to himself, man, I really should have had Armelin teach me about Kroot. Teach me how to speak their language.
So I will help with the Eldar. So the Eldar come to me because we as a race do not like war. To fight is always an emotional thing. It's your bodies are driven by instinct in battle. And for those of us who are trained, we apply a war mask. But for the Eldar captives here that are forced to fight, they're very rarely able to do so. And the activities in the arena bring them dangerously close to our god of murder. I have a lot of experience with the war mask, and so I've helped the Eldar over time to rein in their emotions. So whatever you need help for you need from the Eldar, I can guarantee you.
Very well, then it's be up to us to reel in the humans and hopefully the Kroot.
Yes, I would avoid, if you want the help of that Space Marine, then I would avoid forming any pact with the Warp Weirds.
The warp?
The Psychers.
The Psychers.
Captain.
I see.
Ones with the collars.
The one time he does the Eldar's bidding and creates great suffering is when he fights one of them.
See a Black Templar?
I don't know what that is.
It's thinking to myself, speaking out loud. Sorry. Very well.
All right. It seems we have some planning to do.
Indeed.
You should continue to try and raise support. If you get enough support, we can short circuit and Yara's whole plan and get this done quickly.
As a final moment in the show, because I have one of those fate points left.
Yep.
I would like to go talk to the Space Marine and divine ministration him and his wounds so that he can gauge what sort of person I am.
Okay, well, as you go to leave, the last thing that Palin says to you is, I'm sorry about your friend.
Who?
the psyche you said that died.
Oh, yes. For whatever reason, he found it important to wander off by himself in this area, and us chasing him down was just, I don't know, foolhardy.
You mean when he decided to go back to the ship to get help to defeat the Soul Reaver? The randomly wandering off to defeat the Soul Reaver, the reason we were partially here?
Well, I'm sorry to hear about your loss.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Something about, I mean, like, Pondo, you've got a pretty good scrutiny. Like, there's something about, like, something he's not sorry at all. It's just, it's one of those very sort of, like, politician sorries. Like,
Canadian sorry, yeah.
Yeah, obviously didn't know this person. There's no scope of who they are.
But he knows he should give his condolences.
Yeah, I should say that. That's right. It would be the appropriate thing is to say sorry.
I tried to give him a phone call. He just didn't answer.
Yeah.
We could have been besties.
Left you on hold.
If you're in red.
I think it was more like you stopped before you got sucked into the warp vortex that is the
James didn't even let me roll. He was just like, it doesn't work. And I was like, oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, those of you with... give me, Dave and Pondo, give me knowledge Xenos at -10.
Okay. Oh, reroll, why not? Because that's a freaking 90.
I got an 81, but I need my last point.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
I also have knowledge Xenos, and I've had it for a very long time. I just didn't realize it.
You can roll then. -10.
Hang on one.
Come on, this is your one successful roll for the night.
Yeah, right. Nope.
You want to fate point it?
Yeah, I'll fate point it.
Man, we've been rolling like hot poo-poo tonight, fellas.
There it is.
Right,
there it is. On a 3.
Yep. So from what you heard about Eldar Exarchs, is that the only emotion he's capable of feeling is anger and rage. Like, yeah, although he comes across as very sort of, reserved or genial, the only emotion he can experience right now is rage.
Gotcha.
And hunger.
That's not an emotion. Okay.
It is to them.
Dawn, you head to the cell of Lorne, I think his name was.
Something
Tarn. Ludvos Tarn.
Ludvos, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a big cell for a big man, and he is attached to the wall by a pair of long adamantine chains. So he's currently like he's kneeling in like a prayer at the moment when you enter, or some sort of meditation. And like he opens one eye as he hears you approach, and then when he sees who it is, he sort of opens the other eye and stands up. I greet you.
I greet you as well. My name is Sister Dawn Leteinia. I am a living saint in a predicament.
Yeah, there's definitely a like his craggy face. Like this guy is like scarred to all hell as well. Like he's obviously been in a lot of paddles. But yeah, definitely like his craggy face, eyebrow raises when you say you're a living saint. Indeed, I am Brother Sergeant Ludvos Tarn of the Imperial Fists. That's you make a bold claim.
Well, boldness is all I am. I have come to request your assistance in a breakout.
You're not the first one to make this request, but I would like to hear your plan.
Well, complicated plans tend to fail, which is why this one is quite simple. I've enlisted the help of the Xenos as well as the humans here, and we will create a distraction in which the ghost net will be dropped. After that, we will simply leave as we intend.
If you're planning a breakout, then I would obviously want to be involved. now. He pulls on the chains that go suddenly taut with a loud clang. As you can see, my ability to move around is restricted. I would need to be freed from this, and on a demand that I could not leave this place without recovering my armor and war gear.
I also cannot leave without my gear, so you and I have the same problem. This is something that we could probably fix very easily. Do you happen to have an understanding of where it might be?
Yes, there is it's upstairs. There is a storage area where the equipment of the gladiators that are brought in is kept.
So,
but I believe that that's where my weapons are. I believe that Aniara keeps my armor in her room as a trophy, along with the keys to these chains.
I see. So Dawn will do you mind if I inspect your confinement a little closer?
Go ahead.
So is there anything like particularly weak about this confinement that he has? Like, is there any like clear breaks or anything like that could be used?
They have gone to a lot of effort to make sure they can contain a space marine.
Yeah. All right. Okay. And you said adamantium. Is that like a mineral or something like that I should be aware of? Or?
I mean, yeah, it's now chemically produced metal that is large. I mean, it's not unbreakable because you make armor out of it, and that would imply the armor is not penetrable. But it is the hardest known substance in the Imperium.
Harder than ceramite?
I was going to say Noctilith would like a word, but all right.
Is okay.
The hardest human produced.
Now, am I allowed to do a little potential miracle here, perhaps, and seeing if there's a way that I can break these chains using faith? I'm willing to burn a fate point to make that happen.
He turns the chains into snakes.
The main issue is going to be, once again, like the connection to the God Emperor here. So I'm going to say no. I know from the point of view, of course, in the problems. You're not ready to have a sudden breakout. Him walking around.
No, I understand that. During it would obviously happen during the correct time. But is this something that I can potentially
I don't think it really is within the purview of your powers.
Fair enough. I had to ask. It was worth asking. All right. So after I inspect it, is there any particular wounds that he has that I can?
Yeah, I mean, he's been fighting today in the arena, so yeah, there's definitely Adrian. Oh, he's got that cut below his eye
that I gave him.
His knuckles are bloody too.
I was gonna say, his knuckles are skinned.
There is a tooth stuck between my knuckles.
You're bleeding. That's not my blood.
All right. So if he has any wounds or
that's fine.
maybe any pains,
I'm happy that you divine administrate him and it doesn't convince him necessarily that you are 100% a living saint. He certainly recognizes you are an ordained sister, and he'll take everything else on face value for now.
Mm-hmm. There's very little I can do for these chains right now, but I will endeavor to find the key that holds you. Is there any other?
If it's any help, like a lot of these, so the Eldar make no differentiation between gladiators and slaves. So several of those who are in this arena, a pit when they're not fighting, also perform functions for the Drakari. Then you may be able to find slaves that have access to Aniara's. They certainly couldn't sneak out my armor, but they could certainly sneak out a key. But it would not be long before she's discovered. So you want to be careful with the timing.
You see. And this is just so I'm aware, this is the girl that is supposedly I'm a champion for?
Yes, that's
the
right.
woman?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I will leave him to his devices. I will fill in everyone about his requests for what he wants in order to participate in the coup. And then I will maybe try and grab a runner slave or something like that and say that I wish to discuss terms with the with this. I forget her name now. What's her name? Sorry.
Anyara, the succubus.
Anyara. Yeah. We should discuss terms with her. So.
All right.
We don't have to do it this session. We can do that next session if you want, though. So,
there is a companion dating game to the show that's a reverse harem, where there would be scenes like with that Imperial Fist in there, where he's like, "What I need is the key to my heart," and it's just like, date Adrian, Imperial Fist guy, Talon Balewing, and the captain.
Yeah, I'll go the platonic route and everything, and end up dating the God Emperor instead. So.
No, that's all of the routes. At the end of all the routes, she goes, "No, I don't like you. I'm saving myself for the God Emperor."
Your family tree is not as interesting as I'd hoped.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
All right, so let me interrupt here. By the way, the Gyrinx is just following Adrian around, sticking in his shadow, and occasionally looking angrily at him.
So I think the final scene.
I'm not a sandwich.
The final scene we have here is we're in the streets of the Nexus near the starport, and we see like a lone Eldar slave sort of like walking along, busying herself, trying to get from place to place, and she runs on the wall of a large, some sort of storage warehouse or similar sort of construction near the spaceport, and she sort of looks around conspiratorially as she slips inside, and as she enters, we sort of pan in to see this chamber full of Leman Russ battle tanks, all lined up ready to deploy, and sitting in front of them is Cassius Strain sitting on top of a thrice-locked chest.
With a sword out, pointing in a direction.
Again,
drive me closer. I want to hit it with my sword.
I have an alternate version of this scene.
Okay, yeah.
That I've taken almost directly out of like some Thor Ragnarok level cinematography.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with William Papadin, the guy who does the Noble Knight series?
No.
All right. So in order for Merlin to cast spells in that world, he has to perform a specific dance on top of his Dakimakura, which he also uses to fly. So what I'm imagining...
is this that guy on YouTube?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So what I'm imagining is like a 3-wide line of Leman Russes with Cassius Strain dancing on the top of one to Gimme 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 by ABBA. He's like, gimme, gimme, gimme. As people are just like comically throwing las rifles out to random people in the street, and someone with a Voxcaster is just like, kill the masters, free the slaves. And it's all shot from like behind with like a weird starscape and the buildings at odd angles. It's okay, never mind. I was just thinking about Thor Ragnarok and ABBA and how we could somehow use both of them here. I mean, what can I say? I just want to give myself a hand. What do you got, James?
What have I got?
Yeah.
Well, that's it for today. So everyone take 300 XP.
Lose.
You sure the box doesn't block my XP game?
No, it's fine.
You're just finding reasons to hurt yourself? Is that
there was some XP in the box.
Nero left it there. Look, guys, the thing about Androchiron is, I don't know that I really expressed it well. He grew up on a hive world, was then stuck on a black ship, has basically either been around people his entire life or been telepathic around people his entire life. The box is the only moment of silence he's had forever. It's like the one time he got to see the ocean. He's finally experiencing life the way it was meant to be lived.
Are we like 600 points from level 8, by the way? Something like that.
I think we need 30,000 to get to rank 8.
So you need to be at 30,000 to open up rank 8.
We're not that close.
So we are, let's see, 400.
2,000?
So no, we're 600 XP away from opening up rank 8. You are correct.
Yeah. So James, how much is a coup worth to you, my man? I've been waiting all game to be able to do 2 reactions a fucking turn, okay? Been
Wow, you guys
Don't
actually
worry,
get cool stuff at rank 8, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. What must that be like?
I really don't. Rogue Trader peaks at rank 7, I would say.
Yeah, because you've already got the fucking lightning attack, bro.
I mean, I can get lightning reflexes, but it's kind of. I get more exotic weapon training.
It's good.
All right.
I love the idea that this game is like, hey man, listen, I know you want to have the cool shit as you're playing the game, but what if you get to max level and then you get the good shit? It's like when you beat the game and then they give you the cool gun and you're like, come on, man.
So at least when they did Dark Heresy 2nd edition and then subsequently other games, they made it so that there were no more like ranks. It was just, you had everything at cost, and the higher power things just had higher costs.
Yeah, that's the good way of doing it, because then you can be like, I want to be Nero. And then you can do it.
I am Nero.
No, you're not. You're Androchiron. Shut up. Box boy. Get back in your box.
Pretty sure I'm Nero.
Get back in your box, man. Come on. But, oh my god, are you literally gonna like make a character in the future where it's just like, I'm gonna play this character today, so I'm gonna open my box and swap characters? You know, like.
Is that what we're gonna do, James? It's just gonna be Nero and Androchiron, but Dorian graying.
You're gonna be like, excuse me guys, I need to make a phone call. Click, click, click.
Oh, I got it. We're gonna Moon Knight. That's what we're gonna do for the rest of the show.
So what are your personalities?
Give me the box! Give me the box!
You got Nero, you got Androchiron, and you've got Cat Thing. Yeah?
Cat Thing? Is that what you think that Gyrinx's name is? Is Cat Thing? You think of all of the names Androchiron could have given the cat, it was Cat Thing.
I mean, he didn't call it Sandwich, so, like.
Who calls their cat Sandwich?
There has to be at least one cat named
Spoon, let's do your outro.
All right, I am Big Spoon. You can find me over on Twitter at BigSpoon223 or on Arthur's Discord. I am here Saturday nights for this show, and then also Solaris Knight Season 3. I don't know when my next match will be, but it will be at some point in the future.
You're very hopeful, I see.
Yeah.
Between now and the end of time.
Yep. Yeah. Between now and the heat death of the universe, at some point, my next match will be. Fine. Yeah. Well, when everybody thought that I had died by stepping out of that door.
I mean, given what we just heard, you've died over 1,000 times. So
yeah, but so have you.
And in all of those futures, I've never died. That's the funny part.
Hey, remember when Dawn dies, she goes to the landscape, which is filled with bodies of dead Dawns.
Yep. But I never die. That's someone else's done.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some breakouts and having maybe a couple flashback scenes next session. So
why flash back when we could flash forward?
No.
Hey man, I ask that question every
Flash
time someone
sideways.
says.
No, flash sideways.
Okay, so we're going for Lost now? You could have gone with flash forward, but you went with the final season of Lost, really?
No, not the final season of Lost. There was another show that only got one season. I forget what it was called, but it was like they were all on an airliner or something like that. And then,
it's still Lost.
It didn't crash though. But anyway.
Maybe we should do like the whole Westworld thing, and all the flashback scenes are actually happening like 50 years in the future about something completely different.
Like I said, flash
just
forward.
happens to seem
How is this relevant to the current story? It's not.
There's a guy. He's called the Man in Black. He's also you.
Yeah, it is conspicuous. It looks like it is.
Got anything else?
We could do the whole I Am Jade Falcon thing where we just completely like star wipe the escape out.
Amazing.
You know there are other ways, right?
Pondo, what do you have?
I am a Pondo or Pondo the Mad. You can find me here Saturdays, obviously. Snowrunner whenever it comes out. And Total War whenever it comes out. Which apparently we're meeting next week, which sounds astonishing.
I am astonished. I'm even more astonished that Gut is watching the episode from my perspective, so he knows what I'm doing. We might need to have a talk about cheating.
Yeah, it sounds like stream sniping a little bit.
Well, I swear, I'm definitely not planning an army to kill Gut.
You have to get through me first, which I really don't care, to be
Do
perfectly
I?
honest. Not really.
What if
I
I
mean, you
use
have
a
to go
rift?
through my land.
What if I use a rift? I teleport to the rift outside his capital? Oh, didn't think about that, did
I
you?
forgot about the rift.
Oh, yeah, forgot about the rift, huh? Guess who didn't forget about the rift?
Unless he does the same thing you do and deletes all the rifts.
None of you have
down.
none of you have any heroes. I'm literally the only person on the board who can do that.
No, I got heroes.
Do you have at least 11?
11?
Yes.
What? Why
You need
at
at least
11?
6 heroes to cover all of the chaos rifts in your lands. And then you need to embed 1 in each of your armies. All right, never mind. You keep doing it.
I don't need to embed heroes in my army.
What are you going to do? A 19 lead belcher army or some shit?
I'm thinking about it.
All right, well, respect, mad respect. What else you got?
That's all I got for now.
I'm going to skip past doing a D's nuts jokes for the audience and just jump over to Dave. I considered it very strongly for several seconds.
But you know who has some good nut? Morbius. Okay. The best nut. I don't know. Hey, go fucking do the thing. You've heard me say this a million times. And if this is your first time here, what are you doing? What are you doing? Go watch the previous show where you hear my outro, and then you'll know what I'm talking about, okay? Context is important, people. Thanks you, James, for running. It was a good episode. I had a weird energy coming into this, and I kind of still have a weird energy now, except I'm far more tired, and the sun's up. And no one likes it when the sun's up, so...
Fun's up, fun's up.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, Dave, you were really dragging there.
You know what else was dragging? These nuts.
Someone already did a D's nuts joke in chat, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
What can I say, guys? There's one thing I have to take away from this episode. It's that not enough people appreciate ABBA. We'll see you next week.
ABBA.
Hey, wait, what? Outro?
Wow.
Didn't I start with your outro?
No, we started with me.
I feel like I started with your outro. I feel like I started by saying, "What do you got, James?"
No, you started.
You said, "What do you got, Spoon?"
I don't think that's right.
Well,
but sure.
I think you said. What do you got, James? I said that's it. As in I was
Yes,
the show was over.
that's.
And then I said 300 XP, but there was no sort of like I didn't get to talk to anyone what I was doing.
God. I'm sorry that I didn't realize you didn't get what I was putting down. All right, James, do your outro, your second outro. Would you also like second breakfast? Maybe 11sies, tea time?
I was just
Turns out the iron coffin you're in actually did block XP.
It actually drains XP.
Yeah, it's actually drained 1,000 XP from Androchiron.
Somehow, in that confined space, rocks fall and you die.
Well, they just don't open it. That's all that needs to happen.
Someone puts a heavy crate on top of the case.
Since I realized it didn't actually come up in the game, I was just going to connect some dots that the reason that Nero's thrice-locked case has fate power is the fact that it was offered as collateral in the fate reading, even though it wasn't purchased. It was offered to the witches in the fate reading. back in season 1, and that in fact the reason the witches were assassinated by the assassin following you is so they could not detect what was happening inside the crate.
Because it was offered to. Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that's some thread.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is all of these people are making plans, but in fact, in the end, Nero is the one pulling all of the strings, making all of the significant moves, while everyone else goes, "Oh fuck, what do we do?" Nero's going, "Oh fuck, what do I do? Oh, I guess I'll just create the ultimate weapon in the universe."
Yeah, I think what I'm saying is that I certainly enjoyed making it so that all of Nero's stuff he tried to do actually worked. He just didn't know about it, so he got frustrated by it not working.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And he'll never know. He'll never know that he, in fact, is the sole hero who saved this universe.
That's right. Nero's box more powerful than Nero.
Wouldn't take much.
Of course, put it on Arthur to build a character first. That literally all it does is just make his next character like cooler. Like he's like, hey guys, I planted all these seeds everywhere, and I didn't tell you about it. But now my next character, he's gonna pull those carrots up. He's got night vision
is the
now,
one who's planting the seeds. I created the seed, and he's the one that's planting them in the rich, fertile ground, and then burying Androchiron into the ground next to them.
I've now got this vision of like Androchiron sneaking up on Zeech, and every time Zeech turns around, he just drops down beneath the crate.
What was that?
Must have been the wind.
Otherwise, I'm Grim Dark James. You can find me on Arthur's Discord. I put up a new YouTube video this week as well to finish off my Space Wolf Crusade. So check that out if you have time. If you like 40K and Crusade. Working on some more videos at the moment. Otherwise, you can catch me midweek for some Solasta action, and then next week for some more Rogue Trader. So things are looking good next week as well.
I'll be in Texas.
You'll be in Texas? Things are looking good 2 weeks' time.
There you go.
We got 3 weeks in a row. Well done, guys.
Yeah.
So wait, we're not going to be back next week?
I mean, they do have the internet in Texas now, just saying.
They do, but I will be at a gaming convention, so I will be playing either RPGs or a tabletop game or doing something.
Spoon's gaming without us. Look at this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there also is the case of me moving into a new house, so we'll see how long that takes.
The next episode will be whenever we fucking can make it, I guess.
Hey guys, remember that cool prison break that we were going to do? Now, fuck you 3 weeks.
Just remember, Spoon, don't mess with Texas isn't a warning, it's a plea.
Yeah. Oh, I mess with Texas plenty.
All right. Have a good night.